talk about Kolsch. Okay, we're now recording. So, Kolsch. This is Backcountry Kolsch. We put it on a couple days ago, sometime in the middle of last week. Really excited to have a Kolsch on. You might have heard the word Kolsch before or have had some at some other breweries. Kolsch is a type of lager. It was it's like a lager ale hybrid kind of yeast if we use a true Kolsch yeast for it, but it's conditioned like a lager. So it's cold conditioned for a long amount of time, just like our River Light is, just like our River Trail Pilsner, like Lower Lake Lager. So it kind of goes through the same brewing methods as any other lager would. Kolsch is from a specific region in Germany, where that's kind of like all they drink there. It's treated as kind of like a champagne of beers kind of approach to it. Usually it's drank in like a very tall, like highball glass. I considered even using our highball glasses for the Kolsch here, but it just didn't quite fit, and it's not quite the same thing. It's a little bit like more slender and taller, the actual Kolsch glass. So we decided to go for a little more of an everyman approach to it. Like that's why we put it in the Revival Pint. That's what it's in, right? Revival Pint. And yeah, it's just like a really good, really easy drinking beer. This, I think, is a really nice example of it. It kind of like checks two boxes. Like, it's very historically accurate, style-wise, for like the super like want to go deep cut, beer nerd kind of folks. And it's just a really nice, easy drinking, clear, light colored, light tasting beer for the folks who just don't really care about that so much, which makes it a really good alternative for our River Light when that kicks today. It will come a little bit into competition and maybe cannibalize itself once we put the River Trail Pilsner on tomorrow. But an abundance of light, easy drinking beers is never a bad thing to have on tap. So that's the methodology there. Right, so when we taste this, I think what we're going to find is that it's like a very beer flavored beer. So that presents kind of an opportunity, and that like maybe as we talk about it here, we can get into some of the nuance and subtlety differences between this and any of the other lagers that we have on tap. So pay attention to the level of bitterness that's coming from the hops. Pay attention to the type of grain taste. We've got a wide spectrum there. It can be anything from like cornflakes to like bready, crackery, all the way over to like hay. Like these, like the hay that like horses eat. Hay is kind of like that. It's a really wide spectrum. So yeah. So let's check it out. Aroma, taste, and let me know what you're getting out of this beer. Okay. Anybody, just shout it out, and I'll repeat it for the camera, so don't be surprised if I say back what you said. Everybody's still carefully considering mulling it over.
It tastes familiar, but I can't place it. Like, it's a different beer, but
Okay. All right. It's good opening volley. Who else has something?
Not super bitter.
Not super bitter.
it's a little bite, but not like a IPA type heavy bite.
Okay. Yeah. So a little bit of a bite. Okay. I think like also when we think about bites, that's kind of I find that when people describe that to me, it's either coming from one of two places. One, people say bite as in like a carbonation bite, right? Or we've got like the bitterness bite. The way to tell the difference between those, this is just general edification, is like the bitterness is going to be felt kind of in the back of the tongue going to the throat. That's where like that bitterness comes from and it builds. To both of your point, as like it's not super bitter, like yeah, like you can feel that not building, you know, which is like it's kind of a weird thing to say. Like you can feel something not happening is like, well, there's a certain expectation when we drink beer that like, oh, it's going to build. If you notice, like this beer does not do that, so it kind of subverts your psychological expectation. I think that lends to more drinkability in this beer, and you're like, oh, this is like comparatively, you don't even know that your mind's comparing it to other experiences, but it's like you tend to drink this faster. So I would expect people to have a few more of these than they would have of like a more bitter beer. I think the other thing that adds to that is it's pretty dry. Like I don't know if you guys can sense any residual sweetness on this, but like I'm not getting much. I think it's pretty dry. It's almost to me like both in the aroma and the way that it's drinking, it's a little bit winey. Not like boohoo winey, but like, you know, like it's like a white wine almost. I'm definitely getting that in the aroma. There's like, to me, there's a little bit of pear there. There's a little bit of just like straight up like white wine. And I think that that's like kind of is illustrative of like the fact that this is considered kind of a more champagne-y, you know, hoity-toity type beer, like in the region that it was developed. So yeah, there's that. Okay, what else are we getting? As far as body, and it can be anything. It can be like, what does the foam look like? You know, what's like anything else that you observe about this beer at all? We're out.
Kind of makes you want to take like another drink. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
the dryness of it, like you take that sip and then you want like to drink more. You know, like,
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. It's like one sip kind of begets the next kind of thing. I think it's that's definitely like kind of the idea of this beer too. All right, I can tell when I've exhausted a group of people. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a busy day yesterday.
fair enough. All right, so we'll sign off the video part of this here now.